from Rip City, it's the Urb Thrasher Flower Hour, featuring music, videos, and backstage interviews with the masters of metal, the monsters of rock, and the hellbellies of alt country. Now, throw your horns up and crank it to 11 with your host, Urb Thrasher.
Horns up, everyone. What's going on up there in the world? Urb Thrasher here with Radical Russ.
Ready to rock.
And a studio full, man. And we are ready to rock. And that was a great first hour, man. I hope you guys caught that. We talked weed country, a little bit of a Discovery Channel boycott with Bobby Black. We also talked about the Denver High Times Cup. And then we just got done going over South by Southwest and the Doobie Award winners. And so that was a great time. But now, as you guys know who follow the show, we love to have a little bit of fun at 9 o'clock and get out of the music for a second, talk about some fun things. And for a lot of people, fun things is sports. And tonight, we've talked about NASCAR before. Got Bacon Dan here tonight, though, and we're going to bring hockey into this, dude. Real excited. What's going on, dude?
Not too much, man. And coming into the TSN Hockey Night theme this is a very meaningful song in Canada. With hockey right now, we're getting towards the end of the regular season. Most teams got about 12 games left. Biggest news right now, 5 of the 7 Canadian teams are currently set to be in the playoffs.
Wow.
Which is, including Toronto, who hasn't been in the playoffs in quite some time. The other big news, as it stands right now, there is rumor that a big announcement is going to be made in regards to the Phoenix Coyotes. Phoenix Coyotes originally started as the Winnipeg Jets, moved there in 1996, averaged between $25 and $37 million in losses per season, have never actually made $1 profit. And there's the rumor that they're going to have the announcement they're being moved. Now, there's 2 locations they're looking at. Currently, Seattle is building a brand new arena to bring back the Supersonics. Seattle actually has a rich hockey history. The first American team to win a Stanley Cup was the Seattle Metropolitans, and that is the rumored name that they would take with the hockey team going back in there. The only place, though, that has an arena being built, because the one in Seattle hasn't even been broken ground yet, a new arena being built, an old arena that's being retrofitted, is the great city of Quebec City in the home province of my family, the Quebec, and would bring home the Nordiques, who had left in 1995 and became the Colorado Avalanche.
Who dominated in the late 90s.
Yes, and that team that went there was pretty much the Nordiques. They were still the Nordiques, but then they got Patrick Roy, which just changed the whole thing. I mean,
yeah, I totally remember that. Them and the Red Wings went at it.
Oh my God, Mike Vernon fighting Patrick Roy, and then Chris Osgood got his ass kicked. It was awesome.
So for this season, you mentioned that the Canadian teams are doing well. What about some of the U.S. teams?
Right now, all the original 6 teams are in line for the playoffs. So that's doing good. I mean, there's no... San Jose's got a late push going right now. They might actually make the playoffs. Buffalo will definitely not be making the playoffs, which is unfortunate because that is my team. Them and the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets might be in their first playoffs as the Jets in a tight race for the Southeast Division. Right now, it's going to be very interesting. Like I said, the Sabres, that we traded away our captain. We're not going to name one for the rest of the season. We're in 14th place, so we're just going to be.
Difference does it make?
Yeah.
So wasn't this a shortened season this year?
It was, and that made everything hard. We didn't think we were going to get a season, so with partial season lockout, a lot of surprising things have been happening. I mean, Chicago, you couldn't beat them. They won like 21 games in a row, and they are kicking massive ass. It's going to be real interesting. There's a lot of inner turmoil still between Players Association with keeping teams in locations that don't make profit when you can move them anywhere to where you grow up with snow and ice and you play hockey as a kid and make a profit. So there's going to be a few teams, with the new agreement between the PA and the NHL, there's going to be some big changes going. Goalie equipment's going to be shrinking. They feel it's getting way too big. And, I think some new teams, some old names coming back that you might recognize.
Right on, right on. Urb Thrasher here with Radical Russ. We're talking to Bacon Dan about hockey. Russ, I know it's not good thing to do as far as piss a guest off. But I'm gonna say something. We're gonna test Bacon Dan out and see if he gets mad at me.
All right,
dude. I really enjoyed the shorter season this year, and I really wish hockey would look at shortening the season, or at least wait till football season's over. What do you think of that statement?
I mean, I grew up in Western New York, so I grew up with watching the Sabres and the Bills at the same time. So to me, it's just they go hand in hand.
So hockey and football go hand in hand during that season, and NBA.
Yeah. See, last time I paid attention to the NBA, Larry Johnson played on the Charlotte Hornets with Muggsy Bogues and Alonzo Mourning.
Muggsy Bogues.
There you go.
That's been a long time. NBA was never. I played NBA jams, and I remember I would be on fire.
I wanted to throw the trivia in here. We played earlier here. I want to play this again because we didn't play it very loud. It's such great music. This NHL hockey theme.
Yes.
Which, for those of us in America, we grew up with the Monday Night Football theme that then got replaced by Hank Williams Jr. theme that then got replaced by Faith Hill doing her thing on Sunday nights, I guess now, right? This, though, to tie it in with Kenny, is Neil Peart from Rush.
That's awesome.
Listen.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think who would be an American musician who could do our Monday Night Football theme that would be as iconic as Neil Peart is.
What are you talking about?
As Neil Peart is to... Well, is Bo Cephas as iconic as Neil Peart is
Hell
to
no.
No, you probably have to go somewhere like Springsteen.
There we go. It's Springsteen. There we go.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
a
good one.
All right.
Right on. All right, man. So in closing with hockey, let's put Dan on the spot. Who do you got winning right now? Who do you think is
right now? Truthfully, I see Chicago definitely for the West. For the East, it could be anybody. I mean, honestly, who I'd love to see, just because of how strong they've been this only their second season as a team, would be the Winnipeg Jets. I fully see them actually fully taking the Southeast, put them in third. They've been fighting really good against Boston. But then again, in the West, Edmonton, been kicking ass. I would love to see Edmonton back in the playoffs where they belong. Very young team. They just beat Calgary the other day 8-2. The heated Battle of Alberta. Those cities hate each other more than Portland and Seattle hate each other.
There you go.
And they kicked their ass twice. It was 4-1 the first game. Next game 8-2.
Jeez, wow. That's
so
good
I could
stuff.
see Edmonton. I would love to see a Canada versus Canada final, just because it would bring the Stanley Cup back to Canada for the first time since 1993, when Patrick Waugh helped lead the Montreal Canadiens to a Stanley Cup victory. It was beautiful.
All right. So there you go, guys. There's your hockey report. Appreciate that. What about NASCAR, dude? Are you a fan of NASCAR?
I was a Richard Petty fan. So as I grew older, I still like to think of the old days when it was still, the Winston Cup.
Right on, right on. Well, right on, moving on to NASCAR. We got Cuzzin Kenny in the house. Dude, what's up?
Everybody.
All right, man. So you've given us some updates. We talked to you about the Daytona 500, and we talked to you post-Daytona 500. So tell us an update, kind of what's going on in the racing world.
Well, we're about heading into the 6th race of the season. They took last week off, but the 2 weeks prior to that have been pretty, let's say, fierce. We got a hard rivalry going between the 22 of Joey Logano and the number 11 of Denny Hamlin, actually cultivating in the latest thing being Denny Hamlin wrecked into a wall and crushed a vertebrae in his back and was out for 6 races.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. This started back in Martinsville. Coming up, racing Jeff Gordon for the lead. The 11 kind of pushed the 22 out of the way and kind of ruined his day. They had a little fisticuffs about that. Crews going at it, fighting and everything. And then the next week in California, it was kind of the opposite way around. And but this one hurt somebody. This one hurt somebody good. So they had this last week off, and going into this week, you got that. They have a substitute rival or substitute driver for Denny Hamlin in the number 11. Mark Martin's going to come in for him there. But there's also a little beef with Joey Logano and Tony Stewart.
Oh,
The little bad boy of racing.
Tony Stewart's always in a little bit of a something, isn't he?
Oh yeah. He knows his stuff. But so it seems that during that California race in which the 22 kind of knocked the 11 out for a while, there was a point where Tony felt that he was being blocked and pushed out of the way by Joey Logano, and it made him upset to the point that after that race, Tony got out of his car and went and pushed Joey around a little bit. So some more fisticuffs. Yeah.
Hell, it's turning into hockey out there.
That's right. See, this is why we got NASCAR and hockey on tonight, y'all. See with the tie-in there?
Oh, yeah.
So,
chat room, Big Jim wants to know if you think anyone's going to put Joey's car into the wall this weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how it is, man. Those dudes have spunk.
Yep.
So, what's the next major? Isn't there 4 majors a year?
Let's see what's coming up here. What month is this?
Because we got the Daytona.
The Charlotte 600. That's right. That would be just after the Indianapolis race. Actually, the same weekend as the Indianapolis race. It's the longest race of their season. It's actually a 600-mile race around a 1.5-mile track.
Yep.
Wow. Just circles and circles.
400 laps.
Somewhere abouts, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still do night racing? Wasn't there a night race?
Yeah, that's in
Yeah,
Bristol.
actually, this one goes well into the night. It's usually about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great race, and for a while there, you had drivers actually doing the double, like Tony Stewart, for instance, went and raced the Indianapolis 500.
Yep.
Then hopped in a helicopter and flew to Charlotte, hopped in the stock car, and raced that whole race.
Yeah, I remember
600
that.
miles.
That's just crazy. And then, of course, there's the big race down in Talladega,
Yep.
which there's always the big one, the big crash.
Yeah, inevitable.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Yeah.
All right, so any closing thoughts on NASCAR?
Oh, let's see. We got Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the points lead.
Wow,
Yeah.
way to go,
About-
finally.
Yeah.
It's about time.
All right, yeah, it is about time, man.
So he's going in, taking it easy, and Danica's doing about as expected. It's her rookie year and stuff, so she's in the back. But she's still hanging in there. She's giving it a hard go.
Is she completing races, or
As much as she can. Yeah.
She's been
I mean,
running pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. When barring being put out, involved in an accident or something happening in the car, she's finished.
yeah,
She's driven very well.
yeah. All right, right on. So there's your NASCAR report. Appreciate the hockey report.
Problem.
The only other thing that I got to say about sports tonight, and I don't know enough about this story, so I'm gonna be cool.
I'll pull it up.
I don't know enough, but I'm gonna be cool. But I do I got
I'll
2
look
words
that shit
for you. War Eagle.
War Eagle, huh? Say what?
So I don't know, man. No one really knows. We've been suspecting since 2010. I mean, I say that with a cough too. Ganja John, it affects you, dude, because Auburn beat Oregon for the 2010 championship, and now, I mean, what would
Here's
happen?
the base.
Would they vacate that?
And they say be vacated. It wouldn't go to the Ducks, though.
It would just be vacated.
Right,
Because-
right. But here's I'm trying to get the stupid USA Today to show this up. But basically, a dozen members of the 2010 championship team tested positive for spice, and they didn't tell nobody. They didn't even tell their parents, right? They kept it totally secret because technically it wasn't under the Auburn drug testing thing at the time. And then they're finding other things here about paying kids like $400 when he had a bad day at practice, grade shading, to make sure guys could maintain eligibility. And one situation here where they talk, this is a report off of former New York Times reporter who's reporting that some of the players were being paid big money to stay in school and not go for the NFL draft. So, scam Newton territory.
Yep. Well, the reason, I wanted to bring it up, but the reason I'm not really going full out on this story is because we're going to know more here in the next week or two. 4 Auburn football players got arrested last year for thugging around and stealing and just whatever, and their trial's going on right now, and the McNeil that Russ is talking about is in trial, and a lot of these guys are witnesses, and so a lot of this is about to be forced to come out. So we'll definitely have complete stories here soon. And so there you go. There's your sports report, Thrasher Sports. I want to come back. I want to go to Clutch right now. Best Stoner Rock, Doobie Awards, Earth Rocker, and we're going to come back. Adam Hand, Ganja John, Nick Valdez, and Weed.
What's this about limits? Sorry, I don't know none. What's this about some TV limit? Sorry, I can't hear none. You can take a little cruise down the river of booze, act all poor and defeated. Shout to the mountain some boo-hoo blues, but I stand here and repeat it. I'm a rocker. Everybody hear me now. Everybody get the message. If you're gonna do it live on stage, or don't do it at all. If you're gonna do it, you better take it to the stage, or don't do it at all. I will suffer no evil. My guitar will guide me through. I will suffer no evil. And this time I want to hear it from you. I'm a rocker. Everybody hear me now. I'm a rocker. Everybody get the message. Break it down to brass tacks. Break it down to just the facts. I don't need your sticky laminate. I don't need your VIP. I don't need your validation. Cause I wear mine on the sleeve. Don't look to me for answers. Cause I don't gotta what. I just came to have a good time. And I'm gonna have one. Yes, I lost many battles. And even more days. But if I had to do it over, I'd do it just the same. Cause I'm a rocker. Everybody hear me now. I'm a rocker. Everybody get the message.
Brand new inducted Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Doobie Awards of High Times, Best Rock Artist Rush. Fucking what a great band. As we've mentioned in the chat room, you guys, everyone loves Rush, man. They're just one of the best. And all three musicians, you can really count them in all three categories as one of the best. And then you can look at them as a band and say one of the best. And I don't know how many bands that you can say that. So shout out to Rush. And before that was Clutch, Earth Rocker, and I promise you guys, you can't go wrong with Clutch. Go out there and check them out. And if you are a Clutch fan and you don't have the new album, this one rocks, dude. There's a new step back in them. And so you guys go check them out. And they were Best Stoner Rock Band for the Doobie Awards 2013. And so Radical Russ, Urb Thrasher here in Roller J Studios with our freaking Dabaroos. I mean, the Kings. High Times Cup winners. Dabs. Nick Valdez, what's up, dude? Glad to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, man. Adam Hand, dude, how you doing, bro? Glad to have you.
I'm fucking amazing.
Right on, and one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Ganja John.
What up, dude?
Dude, man, we're so glad to have you guys, man. You guys are freaking busy, man. Everything's going on. Ganja John, are all three of you guys going to the Cup?
Yeah, we're all going. Yeah. I haven't been that busy.
No? I thought you were moving.
Well, yeah, but I had that surgery on my arm, man. I haven't even made oil in like 2 weeks. My brother's doing everything. It's been
Tell
crazy.
everyone what's going on with your arm.
Oh, yeah. I had a fistula in my arm, which is just a fancy word for a really big vein to do dialysis. And I don't really need dialysis anymore. My kidney's working great, so they cut it out. 9-inch incision, man. They cut it at my shoulder and at my elbow and tied it off at each end. It's pretty
gnarly. This is considered a success?
Yeah,
cool.
It was a good surgery.
It
was a good surgery, man. I'm happy about it.
Hey, Rolla J wants to know if that's a bird turd on your hat.
This is not a bird turd. This is a... I taught somebody how to make oil, and they were nice enough to get a custom piece of silver jewelry made for me. And it's just... The choice of silver might not have been the best, but I love the thing. It's a big splash of oil dripping off my hat.
Cool.
I'm gonna probably dip it in some 24 karat and make it really look like an oil splash.
Nice. Yeah, no.
But I absolutely love it, man.
That's very
pretty
cool.
sick.
So, Adam, what have you been up to, dude? You got a T-shirt business, printing business. I mean, are you just busy? What's going on with Adam?
Out of control, just 5 days a week, every day. I don't like to work more than 6 hours a day, but 6 hours a day, most work I like to do, but it's been just balls to the wall. So I'm just working.
How can people find you?
HandmadeApparel.biz.
And you do just printing T-shirts, or what? Tell us a little about Handmade.
We do custom printing T-shirts. We do lots and lots of hoodies. We love weed. We're cannabis oriented, but we'll make your straight shirt too. If we have to, and we just do lots of dabs and hang out and travel and hike and just live life, man. I'm loving it. I'm pretty happy place right now. It's pretty amazing.
Right on. That's awesome, man. Well, we're glad to have you. Glad to come down to Portland and get to hang a little bit. Nick, dude, it's the first time we've met.
Yeah, definitely.
Glad to finally meet you. We're in this world now where we have the computer, where we're friends on the computer. But to be face to face and in the room,
we're only separated by a state border, and it really wasn't that hard to get here. So
that's
thank
right.
you.
So tell them about Nick Valdez, dude, and what you got going right now.
Well, I gotta say, Adam Hand is the man.
He is.
Ganja John is awesome,
dude.
Yeah, Cascadia Concentrates and Healing Space. We won the cup here back in September, and since then, just making lots of oil, man. I go to work, go home, make oil. Repeat, that's my life.
And so, who are you making this oil for? I'm assuming patients and dispensaries. Maybe,
it goes right to. Right now, I've been working with a great dispensary called Rainier Express down in Olympia, Washington. Those guys are awesome. I've been working with top shelf flowers direct into oil, so it's great, getting great results.
And so, being a Washington resident now, with passing I-502 a year ago. And now, are you seeing some changes? Are you feeling like this is all positive? Or
well, yeah. I mean, just recently, we've been springing up with Dab Lounge, which is an awesome way to get people to come together of all walks, talk and exchange ideas, and that's all happening because of 502. Without it, we wouldn't feel comfortable being out in the open. And it's all membership based. And the memberships, we just come in and we all dab, and we all talk. And some people don't even come in and dab. We're there to Adam Hand, printing T-shirts, doing stuff like that. It's really fun. It's a really fun idea, and it's all, again, Adam Hand.
It's cool, man. And so I hope you guys realize, man, we got a room full of people here, man, and all of us are in this cannabis community. But if you really dig deep, we all have got a different thing going on almost. I mean, he's a printer, and Ganja John's been here.
Well, I'd hate to repeat what Nick just said, but none of this cup wouldn't have been possible without Adam introducing us, and his networking abilities are fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, Adam is like that.
He found someone who was awesome at making oil, and he found someone who was fucking ridiculous at growing weed, and put them together, and pretty much, I always tell him, a percentage of that cup is his. He gets it 6 days a year.
I'm not really great at doing much myself, but I'm good at encouragement. One of these days, one of these guys is going to make it. Somebody's going to make it. Somebody's going to take care of me.
I already made it.
That's my goal right
I got
there.
a basement for you right now.
No, I hear you, dude. I really do. I do feel like that too, man. Somebody is going to make it, man. We're all on this mission, dude, and somebody is going to make it. So talk about you two. You guys, I mean, it is you three, and that's how I look at it, but you two won this cup, man. Talk about that for a second.
Well, that was awesome. I mean, Ganja John did an amazing job with my flowers, Space Queen, and we turned in the best entry.
Yeah, it was crazy. We threw it together at the last second, and that's how these cups happen. I've entered a couple of contests since then, and they always get thrown together at the last second, but we managed to really pull it out driving up and down I-5 between Portland and Seattle, and that's something that's really important to me. I mean, I named my company Cascadia Concentrates because the Cascadia region is something I really believe in. I believe we're a lot different than the rest of the country, and I mean, it wasn't just a Seattle company taking this cup; it was Portland too, and it was awesome. The best thing best thing that's ever happened to me. One of the greatest things that's ever happened to me, and I'm glad to have met Nick and found somebody that grows amazing pot, amazing pot, and and I'm glad to have this, have this show and to have met all these people and it's just nuts. I was really depressed around New Year's because I thought 2013 couldn't be as good as 2012, but it's shaping up to be even better.
Dude, this is our time, with 502 passing and things are changing. There's so many positive things going on right now, and we're just right there. This is our time. That's what it feels like.
Oregon Bill being introduced, and then, this first U.S. Cup, I'm working really hard to get my entries done, and, just getting it, man. I mean, we're living... I mean, I don't know about you, Adam. I feel like we're living the most hedonistic lifestyle that we can, and we're making it work. And call us assholes, but fuck you.
We like to say we're spoiled.
We are spoiled.
And it's
emphasis
so
on the
true.
oil.
So many ways. We just live in the dream. Some people are not happy with America right now. My view is pretty great.
Yeah, and all this started with just coming to an event, me going to the Cannabis Cup or Cannabis Cafe and meeting Russ going to a global cannabis march. All you got to do is get up, go out there, go to a Cannabis Cup, and say hi to us.
Show up.
It really that's all you got to do.
Show up. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And so Nick, a lot of people in the chat room right now, a lot of people different parts of the country might not kind of know what we mean by dab and all this oil thing.
Yeah.
So can you kind of shed a light on that for some of our chatters?
Well, we're talking about hash, really. We're talking about a different form of extraction. We, John and I use butane extraction, and then we purge the butane out of the extraction, and that's really the clean way to do it. It was with vacuum and heat over time. Right now, there's a lot of bad oil out there. There's a lot of good oil out there, and it's hard for patients and really consumers to differentiate. And so it's important to have clean oil. And John definitely makes some really, really, really good oil.
Yeah, I got into hash oil because going to the Cannabis Cafe and straight flowers weren't really doing it for me for certain types of cramping and stuff like that. And basically, it's just a concentration that we're smoking with. Either we're using a glass nail right now or titanium nail and a fancy little glass piece, and it's changed my life absolutely. And I was in Killer Burger yesterday, which is a place, burger joint just down the street from me, and I'm hearing people who are just sitting there, a guy talking to his mom about hash oil and about going and buying an e-pin for his mom to do hash oil, and I couldn't help myself but introduce myself and tell him my story a little bit, and he said, "Man, it's helped my mom so much, and it's helped me so much. I can't imagine life without it." And that's just sitting in a restaurant. That's crazy. Times are changing.
Yeah, that is wild. So, might have a patient or two. Somebody might be wondering, why would I want to try a dab when I have an ounce of weed under my couch?
Because you don't have to sit there and smoke that ounce of weed. He's firing up right now, and he's going to take one hit, which is going to be the equivalent about a whole joint all at once in one hit. Like, my mom uses it. She's had 5 knee replacement surgeries and broke her femur last year from a fall. And she doesn't want to sit there and smoke stinky-ass weed all the time. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to smoke a joint when I'm driving down the road. And I've been guilty of it sometimes. I'm not driving. I'm a passenger, but I've taken a dab while I'm a passenger and been pulled over immediately, and they can't smell shit. So it's not bugging my wife. It's not bugging the police. It's not stinking up my house. And I'm getting to where I need to go, like, that.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, since I stopped really consuming flowers only, now I've been dabbing. In the morning, I'm not coughing up a lot of
No, that
stuff.
phlegm in the morning. Yeah.
Well, there's no chlorophyll, there's no plant matter, so it's really, we're vaporizing. When it's done right, you're vaporizing pure cannabinoids and the terpenes, and it tastes good, and it's healthier for you when you smoke.
My doctors love it. I mean, because that's one of the big fears of my doctors and being a transplant patient, having a weakened immune system, is certain flowers can contain aspergillus or contain different kinds of molds, especially here in the Northwest. And we don't make anything with mold in it, and we only make the extraction. We're not smoking plants. And I mean, they're worried about your about coughing stuff up in the morning and being a heavy user and having resin in your chest. Doesn't happen with oil. It's just a vaporization process.
Right on, I totally understand. Urb Thrasher here with Radical Russ, and we're talking with Ganja John, Adam Han, and Nick Valdez. We're going to get to some rock, come back, talk a little more. Turn it up, folks. Thrasher here with Radical Russ.
I like that band.
Awesome band right here. And we got Ganja John, Adam Hand, Nick Valdez in studio.
Dabs.
That's right. And so earlier on tonight, we talked with Bobby Black, had a great first hour, talked about all kinds of stuff. And one thing was the Doobie Awards. And the best alternative indie artist was the Memorials, and that's who we heard right there. Russ, fucking awesome band.
Yeah,
right
I like
there,
that
dude.
group. I like
You
that
know,
group.
real funky, man. You got a lot of rock.
There's a lot of those bands out like Year of the Dragon and other. You listen to some Psychofunkopus on this show. That's my kind of sound.
Yep. And before that, we heard Orange Goblin, who was here a week ago in Portland, opening up for Clutch. And you can check out my review of that show on the 420 website. Go to the Urb Thrasher page and read. And we're actually starting to collect some blogs up there, so you guys start checking that page out and see what's up. So, Nick, man, we were talking some good shit a while ago, dabs and all this stuff. You guys are all going to Colorado. What are you expecting in Colorado, man?
Oh, lots of, like you were saying earlier about having people that you know online, never met in person. I imagine lots of that going on. Lots of fabulous dabs, of course. I'll bring some to represent the Northwest. I'm sure John will as well. And
yeah, I'm gonna, but they got the best. They got the best oil in the world there.
In Colorado?
What
makes you say that?
Because it's the best.
They've been doing it for quite a while.
Okay, that's what
I'll tell you.
So were they doing it
that's
first?
Not what it is.
Yeah, we're watching them,
right.
and they're definitely helping us, and that's great.
No, I don't think they've been doing it first. I don't think it's any of that. And there's a couple dudes there. I mean, a lot of them suck. Don't get me wrong, but there are a couple dudes there that are out of this fucking world at doing what they do, and a lot of it has to do with the industry there and how the industry there is set up and how they can make money. If I could set up a dispensary here and make a lot of money like I could in California or Colorado, not so much even in California, but in Colorado, I mean, you have the opportunity to spend a lot of money on equipment, like $20,000 pumps that are mounted to the ceiling, and you have a lot of time to do your oil, which, sometimes 2-week purges that they do in these industrial settings. And I mean, we don't have time for that. And I mean, I can get my oil down to to 0 VOCs parts per million, with nothing in it. There's no butane in it or anything. But the pressure of having that under pressure in an industrial setting, an industrial vacuum, in a chamber like that for a couple of weeks or longer it does things to oil that only pressure can do. And think about how coal and how it's turned into diamonds. That's kind of what's happening when they're making that oil, when they put it in that back purge.
Wow.
So I mean, there's
Is
a
that
lot
where
of
you
different...
learned? Colorado? Is that where you learned?
I learned from I learned because Russ took me to every cup, and out of necessity, I was going back to Oregon and not finding good oil, and so everybody who was winning cups was taking me under their wing while I was there and teaching me everything they knew. And so, I mean, I adapted what I knew based on people in Denver, in San Francisco, in L.A., here in Portland. I learned from people at the Cannabis Cafe and extract artists, especially online. Nicotine, more. I can't give that guy enough love. If he hadn't started his water hash movement and his social media bringing these extract artists together, I wouldn't know a lot of stuff, and we wouldn't all be learning together. A lot of what everyone's doing is crowdsourced, or everyone who's doing it professionally is pretty much on one forum on the internet.
Yeah, I pieced mine together from many different people that provided me advice. Great people like John. It's great that there is a community that is sharing information.
Yeah, because nobody wants to smoke poison, and there was a lot of it out there, and there still is a lot of it out there. There's a lot of people cutting corners, and majority of what a lot of people are. I mean, like I said, I'm spoiled. I go to cannabis cups to smoke other people's oil, and between those times, I smoke my oil. So, I smoke Nick's oil, and like, it's bad. So, I mean, we gotta spread the knowledge and get people to not blow themselves up. I don't like reading about 15-year-olds blowing themselves up in the middle of the night in their parents' houses. And, I mean, people need to quit making it indoors and, quit making it, period.
Yeah. Well, that's great, man. Well, I look forward to hearing your stories from Denver. I hope you guys have a great time. And so, Adam.
Yes.
Another thing we need to talk about, Seattle Hemp Fest. Dude, you right now, last year you had your first booth.
Yes.
And that is turned into not only a booth, but it is turned into a freaking town. Talk about what you got going, dude, at Seattle Hemp Fest.
Dabville, USA, Hemp Fest 2013. We got 4 booths. We're right at an intersection where every soul that goes in or out has to pass on either side of us. We got 6 amazing partners in this 4-booth setup. We got Healing Space Gardens here with Nick, Handmade Apparel.
So Nick's going to be there right in one of those booths.
Can't
right
wait. Yeah,
on,
we'll be
dude.
stirring up dabs.
All right, Handmade.
Handmade Apparel. We got Oil Slick, the guys who make the green pads and the balls. Those are some good dudes from up in Bellingham. We got Happy Daddy, the favorite tool maker here in the Northwest. We will have Ken and his wife there, and Pat Emerson, the whole crew, so that'll be awesome. And of course, Russ Belleville.
What?
420 Radio.
What? Who?
We're going live,
What?
baby.
You're going
live,
to Seattle Hemp, dude?
Live from Dab Central, live from Dabville, USA, Dab Town, Saint Dabville, whatever the hell it is. What are we calling it now?
Oh,
Well,
man.
shit, I got a feeling my booth's going to be vacant a lot of the times, and I'm going to be at freaking Dabville.
We were actually already warned by the Hemp Fest Executive Committee. We've already been talked to. We're good. Sharing is involved, but we're good. But they're out on us already, 6 months ahead of time.
It's legal now, you know.
That's what I told them.
I mean, it's a legal state.
That's what I told them. It's
I mean,
legal
am I
now.
missing something, Russ?
Yeah.
No, we're good. We're good.
Whatever happens,
The-
I'll
the
just
last-
record it.
I mean, you know.
The last sentence of the last email was sharing is encouraged.
Right on, right on. So, Nick, you looking forward to Seattle Hemp Fest?
There's going to be plenty of sharing going on, yes. A
Right
lot
on.
of dabs to be had.
Right on, guys. So I hope you guys are planning on going to Seattle Hemp Fest. My company, Urb Designs, will be there too. We're just in a different area, man. The thing with me, man, is I've been in this spot for like 10 years now, and you can't. My people know me there, man. They come, and it's just like I do love sitting on the rocks, man. If you've been to my spot, I have this killer place where the rocks are behind, and I got the whole ocean, and so I've just kind of peed all over the place there, you know, and marked my spot. And I mean, if it was so much further away from Dabville, then I might consider. But you know, we're really kind of close because I'm in the main stage area. You guys are in the main stage area, so we'll be able to kind of hang out and go back and forth.
Right behind the main stage.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get the blast.
Yeah.
I tried to get you last year, but I'm going to make it official this year and bring you some passes where you can officially just step up and be like, you're in charge of my booth now. I'm going to Dabville.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Right on, right on. So I hope you guys are planning on going to Seattle Hemp Fest. Hope you guys are planning on going to Denver. If you see these guys, man, speak to them. Say hi, man. I swear they're teddy bears. They're so approachable, man. Everything's cool.
If you come up to me and say 710, I'll give you a dab guaranteed.
Right on,
That's all you got to do.
Probably a big old hug, too.
There you go. And so one more thing I want to get to before we get to one more song and close this great night out on Urb Thrasher Flower Hour. As mentioned before, and you guys have seen the Facebooks and the tweets, we finally have our shirts. And these shirts right now are a little bit big because Big Jim is a big dude, and these are actually his shirts. But check it out. Here's the black, white, and this is printed by Adam Handmade Apparel. And Big Daddy Fink did the art, and he does show after this. So you guys follow up disco, funkadelic type shit. But here's the shirt, and I did this little thing of me, so I'm kind of part of it. But black and white, great shirt, man. They're up on the site now. You guys, you know, the money's totally supporting everything we do here. And here's also one in white with black ink.
I like that.
So, very cool stuff. Appreciate everyone supporting everything we do here, and it's just all around good stuff. And so, let's get to Neil Young, legendary dude, and come back and close this thing out. Turn it up, folks.